It was a textbook start to the weekend for Murphy's boys, who claimed their first pole of the season. But a torrid time for Mac McMurray, who spun early on and hit the wall. Jota Sport put an early challenge in for the lead, as did other championship contenders Senior Tech Alpine in the 36 car. And it was a fine hour for the McLarens, who had their best performance to date. SMP once again showed their dominance in the GTC category, as did the number 55 Ferrari of Cameron, Griffin and Rugolo. The victory in the LMPs went to New Blood by Moran Racing, their first of the season. For the final stop on the 2014 European Le Mans Series, we are in Portugal, not far from the capital city of Lisbon. It's a popular holiday destination, and while the tourists and locals mop up the sunshine and enjoy the culture and architecture Lisbon has to offer, we head to the coastal suburb of Estoril, where lies the Autódromo de Estoril. It's a superb coastal race circuit that has played host to all of the top-level categories of motorsport over the years. And this weekend, it's the venue for the season finale. Emotions are running high and the atmosphere in the paddock is tense. The championship is far from decided, so stay tuned to find out who will be crowned the champions of 2014. The action-packed season for the European Le Mans Series comes to a close at Estoril, the final stop on the 2014 calendar. And since its birth in 1972, Estoril has seen many changes to improve the track's safety. Today's configuration is technical, with one long straight and a total of 13 corners. During the 4-hour race, we can expect to see a total of more than 140 laps completed on this 4.1-kilometre track. The battles are close, and it's tightest in the LMP2 category, where Senior Tech Alpine are ahead, but with only a 10-point lead from Jota Sport. SMP Racing lead the GTC coming into the weekend with 79 points, and they're hoping to fend off a fight from Formula Racing, who are in second. In the GTE, it's AF Corsa number 55 Ferrari who are looking strongest, with a 21-point advantage over the SMP Racing Ferrari number 72.
There is a lot of tension in the paddock. Whoever controls that better will win.
My first season in endurance racing, to be battling for the championship with Alpine is great.
I won the championship last year. I want to make it 2 in a row. I'm going to give it everything, maximum attack.
It's a final race and the last chance to win championship.
We was always the fastest car and we never give up.
The championship is not finished before we've crossed the chicken flag.
birthday this weekend, who proved that the Aston Martin balance of performance is working in their favour this weekend, when he set a 1 minute 37.269 to secure pole position.
We had a third position in qualifying at Red Bull Ring. The balance of performance unfortunately wasn't in our favour in Paul Ricard, but we've gone back.
So it's Jota Sport on pole alongside TDS Racing. The second row will be made up of Senior Tech Alpine and Murphy's prototypes. As ever on the ELMS race weekends, the fans have arrived in their thousands in order to enjoy the racing, the atmosphere and the entertainment provided by the race organisation. One of the biggest highlights of each weekend is the autograph session, where the fans, young and old, get a chance to meet the drivers and see a part of a race circuit that's normally closed to the public and shrouded in mystery. Despite the fact that the championship is yet to be decided, the drivers were as relaxed as ever greeting their fans. Local driver Philippe Albuquerque was in high demand by the locals, and he seemed happy to have his mind taken away from the pressure that lay before him. Beautiful sunshine here in Portugal, beautiful cars and beautiful people. The atmosphere ahead of the final race of the season was full of excitement and anticipation. Welcome to the grid for the final race of the season here at Estoril. The ELMS season concluder begins right here with a 4-hour race, and we're down on the grid in blistering heat. Behind me here, the 55 Ferrari, one of the main championship contenders in the GTE category. Matt Griffin qualified that car in 3rd position and would have hoped for a better position, but just didn't have time to get another lap in, or fuel in the car, in fact. And then we come down to see JMW Motorsport, the car number 66, a great qualifying from Zampieri, who's come through single-seaters to the sports car racing, and then taking a very well-earned pole position. It is the number 85 Aston Martin, who are performing much better this weekend under the balance of performance. Then we move towards the front of the grid, and this is the LMP2 area. Coming forward then, and we come to the Alpine car, the number 36 car. Now in qualifying, they knew that they weren't able to get that pole, to get the point for pole position, so they allowed Jota to go ahead, is what they told me. But certainly they're going to be putting on a fight as they come into this part of the weekend. Let's come over here and just join one of the drivers. If we can just grab you for a second, Nelson. I believe you're starting the car?
Yeah, I start of the race, so I will see how it's going. I hope I will gain some position at the start.
Looking ahead, of course, you've got your main rivals right in front of you with Jota Sport. I know qualifying wasn't perfect for you guys, but you knew you didn't have the pace to get pole position.
Yes, we knew that it was impossible to make the pole position, so for us, P3 it's a good result. Now the race is long, so we have to make a good work to keep the title for Alpine.
Well, the fight is definitely on. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much. Well, there we go, hearing from Nelson Pansutici. He'll start the car, and let's make our way forward to the front row. Sitting alongside a pole position car is the number 46 TDS Racing, and that will be started by Mr. Thierry himself. And of course, they start alongside our main contenders for the championship. And if we come over towards the number 38 car, we can find Philippe Elkirk, who is a local driver here. Philippe, if we can just interrupt you for a second. This is your home race this weekend. You've been very, very popular with some of the fans here. You've enjoyed some of the press attention as well, but this is the time when it really counts.
This is the moment. This is the moment. It's where everyone is getting a little bit of pressure on. You can feel the adrenaline coming up. I need to be sure to do a good start. But most of all, it's a great weather, great show, a lot of people around. So that's what we want. Now we need to play our part.
Absolutely, and you're starting, are you?
Yeah, I'm starting the car, so it's going to be a pleasure to start here, and especially like this. And I think it will be a good race, and long but hard.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much, Philippe. And before we go racing, let's just come and join Gerard Neveu, the CEO of the championship. Gerard, if we can interrupt you for a second. It's been a fantastic season, and you're surrounded by VIP guests here on the grid.
Yeah, of course, and look at that. We are very happy with Mr. Brenner, the president of the Portuguese Federation, with Pierre Fillon, who is, as you know, the president of the Autódromo Club de l'Ouest. This is the real celebration of the endurance in Portugal, a legendary place, Estoril, incredible racetrack. And we have to say that, look at these people, huge audience for this weekend, incredible grid. You have 5 different chassis LMP2 at the front of the grid, 4 different GTC at the front of the grid in GTC. The best event of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Gerard. If we could just say thank you very much for supporting the ELMS this weekend. It's great for you guys to have the championship here at Estoril.
Yes, it was a pleasure to receive again the European Le Mans Series with such a big crowd and fantastic sun and fantastic competitors and drivers. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Fillon, just one quick word. The season has been fantastic. It's been close racing throughout.
Yes, we are very happy because, you know, we relaunched the series 2 years ago, and when I see this race, all these people, we have a nice weather today, big challenge because it's the end of the season, and we will have a champion tonight. So we are very happy in the SEO.
Thank you very much. We certainly will have a champion in just over 4 hours' time. So let's join our race commentator, Martin Haven.
Felipe Albuquerque, our pole sitter, leads the field round. The Gulf Aston Martin there, that's Dan Brown, the GTE pole sitter, starting in 11th place. And the GTC car, Kirill Ladigan, the SMP Ferrari, he starts in row 10. And he is the man who is on the GTC pole. Well, all 3 championship classes still to be decided here. And with 4 hours in baking sunshine at this fabulous Portuguese circuit, the final round of the 2014 European Le Mans Series looks set to be an absolute cracker. 35 cars on the grid, and all of them with something to prove. Perhaps none more so than the Jota Sport team. We've had 4 different race winners overall this year, and Jota and Signatech Alpine are dicing for the title. Away we go then for the final time this year, rushing down into the first corner. Pierre Thierry jumped at the start by the Signatech car. It's Nelson Panciotici's blue car who tried to take the lead from Felipe Albuquerque, couldn't squeeze through into turn 1. And Albuquerque, the local hero, has the lead. Thierry's car in 3rd place. And that Ligier closed prototype ahead of the Moran by New Blood machine. The Murphy's prototype car of Anthony Wells getting jumped off the line as well. But the battle began in qualifying, and now it is on for earnest between the 2 lead cars. Jota Sport chasing Signatech in the championship standings. And there the Thierry Coupe being threatened by the Morand car right behind. Good start from Pierre Rag. And he's got company behind as well, so he can't take too many chances. That's Mark Schulzitsky going the long way around the outside, and he's going to take 2 places. No, doesn't quite get through before they get to the chicane, but very nearly. So he moves up 1, gets by the Moran car for 4th position. Well, the GT Academy graduate started in 7th place. We're not even at the end of lap 1, and he's already moved up to 4th place and is putting the Thierry by TDS racing car under pressure as they come through the Parabolica. This long 180-degree corner that leads onto the long straight here at Estoril. Harry Tinknell watching in the Jota Sport garage. Simon Dolan there as well. They're enjoying the action. They lead at the moment from Signatech. Then Thierry. Then the battle for 4th place. The Moran car. Gosh, that's got some legs in the straight line. Comes back by. Pierre Rag retakes 4th place from Schulzitsky. Not sure that battle is over yet though. In the GTE class, that's Dan Brown's Gulf Aston, the yellow Ferrari, Alexander Talkinitsa, Ben Barker, the Gulf Porsche in 3rd, the SMP Racing Ferrari and the 51 Ferrari from AF Corsa. Those are your championship contenders though. And it looks like somebody might just have been going off. This is for 5th position in the GTE class. Leaders coming down the straight, starting to stretch out already the prototypes with real pace here. Jota Sport now with a 2.8 second lead over Signatech. All the Alpine has to do though is keep them in sight. Dan Brown in the Gulf Aston right behind the 60 Ferrari, but that's not a battle for position because Johnny Lawson's already been off in that Formula Racing car, the red and white machine, so he's lost laps already. Battle for 9th place, the green Murphy's machine of Anthony Wells under pressure down into the interior Parabolica from Matt McMurray. Great overtaking opportunity there, and Wells drifts a little wide. If he survives this though, the next corner's a right-hander. He'll have the inside line. He gets his nose back in front, hangs on to 9th in front of the Greaves car. Good battle developing here though. Wheel-to-wheel stuff. Let's take a look at this incident down in the first corner. Duncan Cameron in the 55 AF Corsa Ferrari, the red and white car, just torpedoed by the ART McLaren. Karim Aljani, not quite sure what was going on there, and Cameron crawling back to the pits. That car looks very badly damaged. Well, that's a GTE incident, and taking Cameron out of the equation. The rest of the GTE battle is, look at this, it is very, very close as the Jota Sport car tries to work its way through. Your race leader, Felipe Albuquerque, blue flags waving furiously. But of course, all these cars have got their own battles, and some of them are fighting for the championship as well. Well, Albuquerque is 2. And of course, he wants to get through before Nelson Panciotici in the background gets to him. Well, here's the surprise. New car to the championship, the Mark VDS BMW, Marcus Paltela leading the GTC class. I'm sure the team are very impressed with this.
Best Lenders, congratulations, it's your first participation, is going well.
Yeah, okay, but congratulations, still too early. The race is still very long, 3.5 hours, but I think it's going well now. Marcus doing a really good job. Also, well, I think the team prepared this race very well. We like the championship. It's a nice atmosphere, and yeah, hopefully we can finish on the podium.
Well, Bas Landis looking pretty relaxed. Battle going on here, not quite so relaxed in the Moran by New Blood team. This is the dice for 4th position. Got the Thierry car right behind, so Pierre Rag feeling the pressure. Right behind him, Pierre Thierry. Oh, well, that's Mark Schulzitsky. Surely he's just... Yes, he's gone off from third place. Now, was the other car there involved, the GT car? We're going to have to wait and see, I think, but Schulzitsky definitely was off track there and looked almost as if he was facing the wrong way. Felipe Albuquerque still 5 seconds ahead of Nelson Panciatici, the Jota Sport car from Le Bleu Signatec Alpine. But just being in front isn't enough. They need more cars to get involved. On the Murphy's prototype now with the Moran car and the Thierry by TDS machine. And down the inside, Pierre Thierry trying to get the slipstream on both of them. But look, the Moran car using Murphy's to get a good tow down the straight. And now through he comes. That's great driving by Pierre Rag. Really good thinking. Dives in behind the Barwell Team Russia BMW. So he's in third place. Thierry's car right behind. The Murphy's car a lap down though. Leaders on pit road, the first of our scheduled stops for them, just about at the 15-minute mark. Felipe Albuquerque gets out, in will get Simon Dolan, who'll have to do 140 minutes minimum in the car. He's getting full service, fuel and tyres for the start of his stint. Let's take a look back at this. This is the Matt Griffin Ferrari that was hit early on by the 99 car, and there is contact as Dolan tries to go around the outside in the Jota Sport prototype, and he loops into a spin. And Simon Dolan now really under pressure. Paul-Louis Chatin, who's taken over the Signatec car, the two gentlemen drivers, and in the inside, Chatin takes advantage. Mistake there by Dolan, and through he goes. The French car in the lead with the advantage now over their British rivals.
This first hour is like we have planned. The fight with Zytec start, and after 1 hour, the position is so tight, so we will see in the next hour and the next hour.
Hour one down, and here is our GTE leader. It's the JMW Ferrari, George Richardson, doing a great job on board the 66 car. They are the best of all the GT cars, 9th place overall, only 8 LMP2s in front of them. Battle for third place, Pierre Rag in the blue and black car, then Tristan Gormady right behind him, and in front of them, that's Matt McMurray's Greaves Motorsport car. That's in 7th place, a lap down on the leaders, about to go a lap down to the battle for third. And blue flags waving for him as well as for the GT cars. Well, let's take a look again at this move behind McMurray, behind the 66 car, the GTE class leader. The Thierry car dives to the inside. A little bit of contact with the JMW Ferrari, but squeezes through to third. Seems to have kept all the dive planes on the nose of the car. Here's our GTE class leader, George Richardson, the top of the GT cars, and he's handing over to Dan McKenzie at JMW Motorsport. Tyres waiting for him. Simon Dolan now under pressure for second place from the Thierry Ligier. And Dolan drifting out a little wide. They're watching in the garage. That's the TDS team, and through he's gone as they were trying to come around the BMW, and Dolan off very wide there as well. So Thierry by TDS up into second place, and that will bring some smiles to their faces. Standing up at the background, Ludo Bade. Well, the replay shows Dolan went wide, but the BMW came wider. But again, contact from the Thierry car as it went by.
I think the car is very good for the race, and we make a good job for the practice to make a good car. And I think the job is paying, and we are waiting for a best result possible.
GTC lead battle and a change. The Ferrari's gone by. No, the Ferrari's gone off. The red, white and blue SMP racing car got by the BMW, then ran out of road at the first turn. And the BMW, the Mark VDS car, gets back in front. Wow, this is a close battle. Marcus Paltela hangs on by the skin of his teeth. Leaders in traffic, Paul-Louis Chatin in the number 36 car, that blue Alpine, and look right behind him, Tristan Gormady, who's been on an absolute monster charge in the Thierry by TDS car, and the red coupe is right behind, all over the back of him, and going the long way, the wrong way round, just as Simon Dolan did earlier on. Paul-Louis Chatin gambles wrongly on traffic, and again, straight by goes the Thierry car. They have the race lead in the Ligier, but it was smoking. Well, the Alpine team don't have to worry about that, perhaps. Let's take a look again. Yeah, more smoke and again, more contact. In the pits is the Ligier, and the Thierry team are going to have to pull him back into the garage. Definitely something mechanically wrong with the car. Too much smoke coming off it. The last stop, they've just sent Ludo Bade out, and he's had to come straight back in.
We have a high leak engine. We are really disappointed because it's resumed all the season the ELMS for us. All the staff made a great job. All the time the car is really fast on track, but we are unlucky. And yes, it's nice to have a new car, it's a different car, but sometimes it's really hard and we are really disappointed.
Well, that's their third consecutive retirement, and trouble too for the Matt Griffin, Duncan Cameron Ferrari. Is Michele Rugolo going to be able to do anything? Look, the left front corner looks like that's collapsed. The wheel at a very odd angle. He's going to have to crawl back to the pits. What a horrible race it's been for them. They've had nothing but bad luck and contact from other cars. Well, they came here hoping to defend the title that Matt Griffin won last year, but I'm afraid as he crawls back to the pits, it's looking like any chance of that has really fallen by the wayside. Well, the boys are trying to put a wheel on it, but I don't think that's going to fix their problems. Halfway mark here in Estoril, Syniatech leading from Sebastian Loeb Racing's entry, Jota down to third, Gulf Racing Aston leading GTE, and the SMP 71 Ferrari on top in GTC. All GTC Ferrari battle here and contact. The 57 SMP racing car getting turned around by the Sofrev 59 car, and then the Sofrev car also picks up some damage as he too spins in turn 3. Great run from young Swede Jimmy Eriksson in Sebastian Loeb Racing's Oreca Nissan, second place now, and he first drove an open prototype, guess when? Yesterday in free practice. What a fantastic effort this is. GTC battle for 8th place, Victor Scheitar in the SMP Racing Ferrari on the inside. They're right behind the IMSA Matmut performance car, Raymond Narak, Nicola Armindo and Christina Nielsen's machine, but up the inside comes the Ferrari, gets by them both. That's the car Pier Giuseppe Perezzini, Marco Ciocci and Michael Lyons. Well, that was a good bit of work in traffic. Both Ferraris, in fact, getting by the Porsche, and this is battling for position. At the moment, they are outside the top half dozen, but all three cars with a good chance of a top 6 finish. 4th place battle here, the two Judd engine prototypes, flash in the headlamps. Gary Hirsch in the Morand by New Blood Racing. That's a Morgan Judd, and in front, the race performance Oreca Judd of Franck Mayer clinging on at the moment. And this is a really close battle. They've been nose to tail for a couple of laps now, just a fraction in it. And both drivers having to really push hard. And you know, both these cars have had a chance of finishing on the podium as well. Up to this little chicane. Really tough on traction here. Watch the cars slither around. Oh, and slithering around as well, Ollie Webb as he comes off the pit apron. Stop and go penalty for the Syniatech car. There were too many men working on changing the tyres when he took it over. Replay here, what are we watching? Simon Dolan locks up. Oh, and has to go down the escape road. Well, no damage to the car and didn't get beached on the grass. Look, here he is now. This is rejoining the track and carrying on his way. Is there any damage done? Maybe flat spotted those tyres. That's going to make it uncomfortable to drive, isn't it? Simon Dolan going very slowly. You wonder whether he is heading back to the pits now. Barely able to get out of his own way in the Jota Sport car. Great to see so many fans here at Estoril. Stunning weather they've chosen as well for this race weekend. Ollie Webb really pushing on the race leader in the Alpine Nissan. Pauline Chatin will have to take over soon and do another stint in the car. The New Blood by Moran machine about to go a lap down. That's how quick the French car is. Here's the battle for second in the GTE class, the 72 car. That's the SMP Racing Ferrari. Andrea Bertolini now piling the pressure on Pierre Caffa. Caffa second place in the AT Racing Ferrari. Into the S's, and Bertolini having a really big run around the Parabolica, the final corner. Any touch here is going to send at least one of them into a major accident. Onto the straight they come. Bertolini is still there. Pierre Caffa clinging on. And the 72 car could win the championship in the class, but must finish the race on top of the points. Down the inside, it's a late lunge. Ooh, and he just judges it well. Can the AT Racing car come back at him? Not at the moment. So that is a change for second place. SMP one step away from the top of the podium. They might yet end up winning the GTE category. Oh, problem for the AT Racing Ferrari from third place, looping it off. Well, looks like they're going to avoid any damage, apart from lost time. Sebastian Loeb Racing entry now right up behind the GTE Aston Martin. Dan Brown and Stuart Hall doing a massive job in that car to try and give Roel Goethe every opportunity of winning the title in the GTE class. And what about Sebastian Loeb Racing? How are they planning to try and win this race?
I'm with Frank Tinet for the Sebastian Loeb Racing. So good job for the moment. You're second. You start on 6th place. How do you manage the race and the traffic?
Well, so far it's a good race for us, for sure. I think we have a clear advantage with the tires because we did 2 stints with the same set of tires. And Jimmy, for his first race, did an amazing job, really. So we are very happy. Now 1 hour 20 remaining, so no mistake. And we'll see. It's a long race.
Thank you.
Well, they're the only prototype on Michelin tyres, and being able to double stint without losing speed has saved them time in the pits. That could be vital. Trouble for the Pro Speed Porsche. Paul van Splunteren bails out. And looks like he's got a fire on board the marshals there very quickly. He found a fire post to stop by. That's good thinking. And that may just have saved the car as well as him. He got out pretty quick, didn't he? Gulf Aston Martin leading the GTE class. Stewie Hall, the world champion, doing a great job in the Aston Martin Vantage V8 before he hands over to Roel Goethe. Just trying to build up the advantage as much as possible. And still trying to have some say in that championship title race. Third place battle in GTE, 2 British drivers, 2 Italian cars, JMW's Ferrari ahead of the red AF Corsa number 51 car. So Daniel Mackenzie ignoring the flashing headlights of Michael Lyons. Lyons giving it everything, gets alongside. Mackenzie coolly keeps his line. Lyons having to try and invent new overtaking opportunities here. This is not an easy battle. Dan Mackenzie, not an easy man to pass, experienced GT racer now. Michael Lyons with more experience, but he is behind. He gets good traction there. And has he got enough run into the S's? Yes, he does. He squeezes through for third place. And that's a really solid move from Michael Lyons. That's the experience paying off there. Senior Tech Alpine still leading, just the final hour to go. This is the battle for fourth. Simon Dolan locks up under pressure from ex-Grand Prix driver Christian Klein in the new blood by Miranda racing car. And Klein really piling the pressure on the gentleman driver. All the old tactics, showing the nose, flashing their headlights, as if Dolan's not feeling the pressure enough. And Dolan, a genuine businessman driver, really works hard on his fitness, on his technique, turning into quite some racer. Already had a victory this season. Huge accident at Silverstone. And they turned that around to win an Imola. But their chances of the championship, it seems, are drifting away. Dolan behind the Mark VDS car yet again, and this time Christian Klein makes no mistakes, uses the slipstream of both cars to get by the Jota Sport car for fourth. Jota down to 5th position, and their championship rivals are leading the race. Well, still a quarter of the race to go. Anything might yet happen. But at the moment, Jota are in a hole, and a big mistake there from Simon Dolan, locking up once more as we see the replay. And Christian Klein using all his experience to go the long way round the outside. Got a great run off the final corner, slipstream by, through into fourth. Behind Stuart Hall's Aston Martin, here is the battle for second place in the GTE class. The Gulf Racing car up the road ahead of Fabien Barthez, the French World Cup winning goalkeeper in the white and blue soft rev Ferrari, and right behind, putting in the stint of his weekend, Andrea Bertolini in the number 72 SMP Racing Ferrari, taking this car by the scruff of the neck, desperate to get by. SMP really need to win the category if they're to stand a chance of winning the championship. And in fact, SMP Racing in with a chance of both GT class titles, GTE and GTC. First job though, to get by Fabien Barthez. In equal cars, that's not going to be easy. He's got the run down the inside. Barthez blocked a little behind the GTC class Ferrari, but the Frenchman gets a run up the inside. Can Bertolini now turn that around? As they climb over the brow and back down into the braking area, he drives the long way round the outside of the slower car, but he's still chasing Barthez. Fabien Barthez has turned from a great goalkeeper into a pretty handy GT racer as well. Started in the French Championship, now the European Le Mans Series. Bertolini, though, using all of his experience. Great grip on the inside, and through he goes for second place. Whoa, hang on a minute. Barthez slowing right down. Very dramatic. Yes, very slow. Looks like he's got a problem. Paul-Luc Chatin, the race leader on pit road for Signatech Alpine. They've been handed a 3-minute stop-and-go penalty. Look at the black marks in front. That was leaving the pits last time after the last stop-and-go. Ollie Webb, I think it was, left those big black marks, and they've been handed this penalty for too much wheel spin, leaving too aggressively. 3 minutes. Well, that's over a lap, getting on for 2 laps here, and this changes the complexion of the race and the championship potentially completely. Well, it used to be a stopwatch in the old days. I guess everything has an eye application nowadays. Oh, this is heartbreaking for the Alpine team. What will this mean? Just under an hour to go, and all sorts of complications being thrown up now to deal with. Well, Paul-Luc Chatin leaving very quietly, understandably. I wonder how team boss Philippe Signot is feeling.
I'm with the Alpine team manager, Philippe Signot. What happened with the penalty?
The first penalty was because of mistake with the process of a mechanics. Was limit, but it's like this. And the second one is because the wheel spin in the pit. Oliver will spin the rear tire.
Do you think you can still win the championship?
Until the last lap, everything is possible, and be sure we will be pushing.
Thank you.
Well, they will be pushing, so too will Jota Sport. It's all on again. Look how hard Paul-Luc Chatin is going to have to work now. Which means we have a new race leader. It's Christian Klein in the Morand by New Blood entry. Vincent Capilliere second for Sebastian Loeb Racing. So could New Blood by Morand pull off the big win in the Morgan Judd? Have to say at this stage, you're not counting out any possibility in any of the 3 classes. Andrea Bertolini leading in the GTE class for SMP Racing. In second place, Raul Goethe in the Aston Martin. And if the SMP Ferrari can hang on to this lead, they will take the championship. That's Michel Frey, third place. Orica Judd, the race performance entry, facing the wrong way at turn 1. Has he spun it? Was there been contact? Can he get the car going again? Paul-Luc Chatin in the Signatech Alpine currently lies 5th place in the LMP2 class. The Jota Sport car in front is in 3rd. And if Jota can only finish 3rd, then 5th will do it for Signatech. 7th would do it for Signatech. And there is Simon Dolan. He's unlapping himself in the Alpine there. Paul-Luc Chatin doesn't change the positions, but it does show the pace of the car. That's going to make it really tough now for Dolan to pick up any more places with the Alpine right in front. Well, look here, Simon Dolan trying to weave his way through the Ferraris and close the door, but Paul-Luc Chatin with a head of steam used the momentum to go by him and unlap himself. At the moment, Alpine in the driving seat, and Paul-Luc Chatin really putting together a great stint here to the end of the race. And nobody should be any fuel dramas either, racing all the way to the flag. Here is our race leader, Vincent Capilliere. Well, what a good luck charm Jimmy Eriksson might turn into. First ever prototype drive, never mind race, and they are leading in front of the packed grandstands here at Estoril. But this is not the time to relax. Still nearly 12 minutes to go, lots of traffic to be dealt with. Don't make any mistakes. Vincent Capilliere has a chance for greatness here for the Sebastian Loeb Racing entry. And what a way to finish their season if they could stand on the top step of the podium for the first time all year. And if they do, they will be our 5th different race winner in 5 races in the championship. So that again gives great hope for everybody that the LMP2 class will continue to be strong and varied. And almost everybody has had a chance to lead this race or at least feature in the front running group. Such have been the swings of fortune. It's been really hard to keep tabs on just who has got the upper hand. I think it's pretty fair to say here that almost nobody has. In terms of pace, Synertec Alpine, maybe the Jota Sport car, they qualified very strongly, both of them. Thierry by TDS unlucky with their Ligier, but almost everybody has shown great performance. It's a fantastic vindication of this LMP2 class. This might turn into a long night for SMP Racing. They are poised now to claim both GT category titles. The 72 car leading in the GTE class and on target for the championship. And in GTC, they're on target as well. Goodness me, not just 2 Ferraris winning, but 2 Ferraris from the same Russian-based team. Well, here is the Mark VDS Racing BMW. What a great debut for them. Bas Linders doing the final leg. Marcus Paltela, Henry Hassid have certainly shown their pace. This car, of course, with great grip and downforce, and that works really well here at Estoril despite the length of the front straight. They're not losing out too much, clearly, because they're leading the class into the closing stages. Well, here are our champions-elect. David Makrosov doing the final leg. Olivier Beretta, Anton Ladigin have driven the SMP Racing Ferrari as well. The 73 car poised to take the championship title in the GTC class. Well, quite remarkable end to the season. Not that they just ended up with a chance of winning one, but with, it seems now, the certainty of winning both GT racing categories. Fantastic performance by SMP. Paul-Luc Chatin with just a couple of laps left to go. They're watching patiently from the Alpine garage. Is that patient, or are they just not daring to breathe? 5th position, not the way you might have wanted to end your season. With 2 penalties, showed great pace in the race so far, but they are on target for the championship, and that surely is what counts. Last lap for Sebastian Loeb Racing. And this is going to be a big moment for them. 2 driver lineup, Vincent Capilliere, the only one of them ever to have driven the car before this weekend, and young Swede Jimmy Eriksson. Well, as their team boss said, Philippe Signot, what a great job he did. First time ever in a prototype, of course, open-wheeled racing he's used to. Oh, goodness me! Spinner right in front, and the leader somehow manages to avoid him without drama. Carving through past the ART McLaren as he heads to the line. The 4 hours is up. The checkered flag will wait through the S's and then to the Parabolica, and from the Parabolica to the straight and the checkered flag. 5 different winners in 5 races in 2014. The Estoril 4 hours goes to Sebastian Loeb Racing's Oreca Nissan. Vincent Capilliere takes the flag, and the Alpine team, they know that 5th place is enough. They will win the championship in the LMP2 class. So well done to Sebastian Loeb. Oh, it was the Pegasus car that had spun. Of course it was the Morgan Nissan on the final lap. And final run around through the hairpin for the Alpine. The Synertec team take the checkered flag, not with victory in the race, but with victory in the championship. They might have lost this battle, but they won the war with Jota Sport. Well, muted applause, but the team look very happy indeed. And I should think this time Philippe Signot will be a happy man to talk to.
For 2 times in a row, what a tough race, what crazy. We had 2 penalties, and we never let down. We continue to fight, and at the end he's happy, and everybody is happy. No, fantastic race. I think Hitchcock is a Portuguese guy, I think, no?
Yes, I think Alfred Hitchcock might well have been pleased with the twists and turns of fortune in this script. Sebastian Loeb Racing winners, New Blood by Morand in second, Jota Sport on the podium in third, but they don't claim the championship. Portuguese flag on behalf of Felipe Albuquerque waved by Simon Dolan.
We have a different strategy, so we gain a lot of time without changing the tires. So finally it was a good thing for us, and it's really a job, a team job, and a win for the team.
Thank you.
Modest words from Vincent Capilliere. And what a day for SMP Racing. 1 GT Championship title might be enough, but 2, the party starts here. Well, you need 2 of those pit boards, boys. 1 for the GTE class and 1 for GTC. Our GTE winners, Sergei Zlobin, Victor Scheitar and Andrea Bertolini.
Sometimes a race is really strange, and sometimes the luck is back. So it's something of really special today, because it's with the guys, with SMP, put a lot of effort to do everything always on top. We was always on top because the car was really fast, but with some bad luck. Now we are here and we won. I think it's one of the days we never forget.
It might take a while to wipe the smiles off their faces as they get doused in champagne. Congratulations indeed. And SMP back on the GTC class podium. Olivier Beretta, David Macrossoff, Anton Ladigan in third place. But victory goes to Bas Leinders, Marcus Paltila and Henry Hassid.
It's just incredible because it's the first race of VDS in GTC. And for the first race we finished first. And I think it's during all the season, the first time it is not Ferrari on the top of the podium, so it's just amazing for us.
Well, they'll enjoy their moment in the sun, as will our champions from the 73 car. There were twists and turns enough in the GT classes, but LMP2 had them trumped. Jota Sport third, second for New Blood, but victory for Sebastian Loeb Racing, their first win in the ELMS and a first ever drive for Jimmy Eriksson. Congratulations to them and to our champions from Signatec Alpine, Paul-Luc Chatin, Nelson Panciatici and Oliver Webb. Teams classification, Signatec just in front of Alpine by 4 points in the end. New Blood by Morand taking third spot. In the GTE class, SMP Racing narrowly beating AF Corsa and JMW. And in GTC, SMP Racing again on top. Formula Racing in second and SMP taking third as well. Plans are already confirmed for the 2015 European Le Mans Series, and if it's even remotely as exciting as this year's, it's going to be must-watch racing. Until then, from Estoril, it's goodbye.